Welcome to Learn Excel in 5-minute bits. In this 14th video, we will examine how Excel's multiple sheets can be used with a number of date formulas. If you are a regular subscriber, you may want to advance the progress bar to 30 seconds to skip most of the introductory paragraph. Future videos will explore additional tasks, including more formulas and functions, as well as many other tasks. Our ultimate goal is to make Excel easy to use and help you become a pro at using Excel. If you're a subscriber, we appreciate your loyalty. If not, we hope you will subscribe using the subscribe button. Subscribing is free. I've opened up an Excel file with multiple sheets. In a previous video, we focused on the income and expenses in these sheets. In this video, we want to focus on how the dates are used. You see a number of dates in this sheet, and there are the same number in the other 11 sheets in this file. But only one date entry needs to be keyed in all of the 12 sheets. In the Jan sheet, the year 2021 is keyed into cell B1. It is the only date that needs to be keyed for all 12 sheets. All the other dates are functions. The Feb sheet shows this best. Cell B1 shows as 2021, but it is actually the formula equal Jan exclamation point B1. To see how this is entered, we'll re-enter it. We go to cell B1 in the Feb sheet. We type an equal sign. Then we click on the Jan tab and click on cell B1 in that tab, and then press the Enter key, which brings us back to the Feb sheet. This creates a formula that simply says copy B1 from the Jan tab into cell B1 of the Feb tab. The same formula has been entered into cell B1 in all of the 11 sheets and months following January. In preparation for entering the month and year in bold at the top of the sheet, we have entered a 2 in cell C2. In other words, the number of the month for this tab. The same has been done in the other 10 months, 3 in March's cell C2, 4 in April's cell C2, etc. Then in cell F1, where the bolded month and year appear, we have used the date function equals date parentheses B1 comma C2 comma 1. So the specific date function B1, C2, and 1 says in effect, use the year that is in cell B1, the 2021, use the month that is in cell C2, the 2 in cell C2 next to current month, and use day number 1. The reason this month shows as February 2021 is that it has been formatted to show the month spelled out and not to show the day number 1. This formula can be entered just by typing each character, or as you get to the B1 entry and the C2 entry, by just clicking on each of those cells. If you are typing, don't forget to type the equal sign, the commas, and the parentheses. The formulas in cells G11 and G14 are almost identical, certainly in syntax, except that in cell G11, we add 1 to the month number to indicate the next month. Generally, these dates in this column assume either that, number 1, we're allowing the vendor to deduct the amount from our paychecks on the date indicated, or our bill pay function in our checking account will be paying on this date, or we want to write a check to arrive by this date, whichever your pleasure. So even though we're in the month of February, we are paying one bill that is due next month and another bill that is due this month. Notice the overall syntax. Each formula starts with equal date left parentheses. Within the parentheses are three parameters, year, month, and day, in that order. Following each of these parameters, year, month, and day, there is a set of parentheses, within which is indicated the address of the cell from which we will get the entry for that parameter. In other words, for both functions, we will get the year and the month from cell F1, the cell with the bold month and year. We will get the day from cell C11, in the case of the formula in G11. We'll get the day from cell C14, in the case of the formula in cell G14. Except for the cell we get the day from, C11 or C14, the only difference between the two functions is that in the formula for cell G11, we add 1 to the month, plus 1 there, which gives us next month. To get ready for these last two functions to work, under the heading Usual Date Due, in column C, we've entered in column C the usual day of the month when that bill is expected to be due. Column D over here gives space to enter the actual date due in case there's a minor variance. At the right, I have shown a very long formula which takes up 3 lines over there. This formula is in cells J5 and L5. This formula gives you the date for the 4th Wednesday of the current month. I borrowed this from someone and I could not explain how it works, but it does. I've included it to show how much power can be found in Excel's date arithmetic. This spreadsheet assumes that the couple get paid every 2 weeks. Therefore, the formulas in cell I5 and K5 add 14 to a previous date. The formula in cell I5 adds 14 to the date in cell K5 in the Jan tab, and the formula in K5 adds 14 to the date in cell I5 in this month's tab. You may need to check these last two formulas in each sheet each year because sometimes the 14 doesn't get added to the correct cell, giving you an erroneous entry. Although it seems like a lot of work to enter these date functions, once you are done, they never need to be done again for any future year. When you get ready to prepare this file for the next year, 2022, all you need to do is save the file with a new name, reflecting the year 2022, and then 2, in the new file, change B1 in the Jan tab to 2022. After that, all the dates in all 12 sheets will be changed automatically because of all of the carefully prepared formulas. Notice that in a couple of the described functions, we were not limited to the current sheet. We started a formula or function on one sheet and then referred to a cell in another sheet to complete our function. By the way, if it's appropriate, you can even refer to another file to complete a function. To be strict about terminology in Excel, a file can also be called a workbook, and as you have seen, a file or a workbook can contain multiple sheets. If your formula or function will use a cell in another sheet or file, the easiest way to use that cell is to, while entering the formula or function, simply go to that other sheet or file and click on the cell you want to be entered into that formula or function. The several capabilities we've just examined show how easy it is to create a budget and expense sheet for the entire year with a minimum amount of typing. This concludes this video Using Excel's Multiple Sheets with Dates, Part 3. Remember that practicing these steps a few times will help you remember so you can use the task without even thinking about them. I look forward to joining you in future videos in our series called Learn Excel in 5-Minute Bits to explore the many benefits of Excel. Check out our upcoming 15th video, Using Excel's VLOOKUP function. Thank you for watching and for subscribing.